Society holds a very specific image of the high achiever, someone perfectly organized and instantly decisive, effortlessly charismatic in every social setting. But when someone deviates from this template, we often use labels like anxious, disorganized, or antisocial. A cluttered desk or a habit of muttering to oneself is usually dismissed as a lack of discipline. Research in psychology suggests these labels might be misplaced. Many behaviors that look like dysfunctions from the outside are actually the byproduct of a highly advanced mental operating system. It is like a high-performance engine firing with absolute precision while hidden inside a rough, unpolished outer shell. The exterior looks unconventional, but the internal mechanics are operating at a level most people never notice. Understanding the specific function of these habits reveals a hidden logic behind the behaviors we often call weird. The difference begins with how a high IQ brain manages the constant influx of raw information. This often manifests as verbal reasoning, the habit of talking to yourself. To a bystander, someone muttering through a problem looks erratic or confused. In reality, translating abstract thoughts into spoken words allows the brain to organize ideas sequentially. This physical feedback loop helps the mind stay focused and reach solutions with much higher efficiency. This same drive for precision often leads to what looks like agonizing indecision. When faced with a choice, highly intelligent people may seem stuck or hesitant. This is a result of cognitive complexity. The brain is naturally compelled to map out every invisible angle and potential variable that others might overlook. This diagram represents that internal process. From a single starting point, the mind branches out to calculate dozens of separate outcomes and long-term consequences simultaneously. This exhaustive data gathering ensures a more logical outcome, turning what looks like hesitation into a tool for guaranteeing the best possible result. A deeply chaotic, messy desk is often seen as a sign of a scattered mind or a lack of professionalism. In psychology, we identify this as selective organization. A high IQ mind intentionally ignores the physical environment to preserve cognitive energy for more complex tasks. The brain effectively shifts its resources. Energy that could have gone toward tidying a desk is instead redirected toward perfectly structuring digital files, work systems, or abstract concepts. We see a similar strategy in taking long, solitary walks. While it may look like social avoidance, the goal is actually cognitive activation. Solitude combined with rhythmic movement triggers the brain's creative networks. It provides the distraction-free environment necessary to connect ideas and solve problems requiring deep focus. These habits prioritize internal mental order over external appearances, allowing for higher levels of creative output. A high IQ brain also requires a specific diet of information, which explains why superficial small talk often feels physically exhausting. Many highly intelligent people will go quiet in social settings, only to later display an intense, almost obsessive focus on a specific, complex topic. This drive is biological. The brain's dopamine reward system in high IQ individuals is often more sensitive to the act of learning and discovery than it is to simple social interaction. The brain's reward center lights up when processing complex data. Without this depth, it remains unstimulated. This creates a pattern, intensely mastering a niche subject, then stopping abruptly once curiosity is satisfied and the dopamine cycle ends. To an observer, this cycle of intense obsession and sudden abandonment looks inconsistent or strange. In reality, it is the result of a mind that requires constant, high-level complexity to stay engaged and energized. When we compare the polished social template to these behaviors, it becomes clear that high intelligence rarely follows a standard aesthetic. Cognitive power very often necessitates breaking social norms to optimize for the way the brain actually processes information. If you find yourself muttering, leaving your desk a mess, or walking alone to think, you are likely using tools that your brain has developed to stay efficient. Verbalizing thoughts, selective organization, and seeking depth over small talk are tactical choices made by an active mind. The disconnect between how these habits look to others and how they function for you reveals something important. These behaviors aren't flaws to be fixed. They are the mechanisms that allow a high IQ mind to operate at its peak.